I hope you're all doing really well. Today I thought it might be quite nice to sort of just sit down and have a little bit of a kind of like a cozy catch-up kind of video. It's been a little bit of time since I've sat down and just spoken about projects and what I've been up to, so I thought that's what we would do today. So I've got all of my current projects with me. I've got some like yarn and bits and bobs that I've bought recently that I thought I'd quite share with you, and also what book I'm currently reading as well. So if you haven't already, grab yourself a hot bevy of choice, grab a little snack, and we'll get straight on into it. So first of all, what I wanted to share with you is the book that I'm currently reading. So the book that I'm reading, it is this one here. It is called Riding the Storm, and it's by KIRSTY BRYAN. She is a indie author, and I found her on Instagram as she was doing kind of like a pre-order little pack. So if you pre-ordered her book, it released last year, you got like a bookmark, some stickers and some art, and so that's what I did. I had the blurb, just kind of caught me. I was really intrigued by the book, and so I pre-ordered it, and it came like literally on the day that it released, and I was so excited. I unpackaged it, and it's this really gorgeous book. Sorry, it's all back to front. If you don't know by now, I record all these videos on my phone, so that's why all of the writing is all the wrong way around. But this book, Riding the Storm, is so good. I am about halfway through now. It's about a British bookstagrammer whose name is Stormy. She basically flees to Montana to sort of like set up a whole new life. She is kind of running away from her abusive ex-boyfriend. She's got nothing really that keeping hold of her back in the UK. Like, her mum and her sister have passed away, unfortunately, and her dad is abusive as well. So she kind of runs away to Montana with the idea of setting up a bookstore. And when she gets to her bookstore, she realizes that the building that she's been sold has been very missold. Basically, it's like falling apart on the inside and needs a lot of work to it. And so on and so forth. And she's renting a little kind of cottage on kind of like a ranch, but it's not like I suppose like a cattle ranch. It's a campsite that has a kind of like animal sanctuary attached to it, and this is where she meets Ford, who is obviously the love interest throughout this book. He is a very grumpy cowboy, but we do love a little bit of grumpy and sunshine. But yes, if you haven't heard of her, please go and check out Kirsty's Instagram. I'll put her handle in the description below, and maybe I'll pop a link to the book on Amazon, but it's really good. I'm loving it so far. It's just got everything that I love. Yeah, so cowboy romance, go pick this up. Completed projects will be our next kind of category. So the most recent things that I have completed that I haven't shared with you, one of them is a moss stitch scarf. The pattern is by Blondie Nuts, and she also has a YouTube like tutorial on this, and I don't have that with me anymore because it was a gift. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that already. I'll pop my handle on screen as well. But I finished this the first week of January, I think it was, and yeah, like I said, it was a gift for my dad's fiance, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I love the colours. I didn't do it too wide, so it's kind of like a narrow-ish scarf, but the colours are lovely, and she adored it, which is great, because I think when you knit and crochet and you're making gifts for people, one of the biggest things is worrying whether people actually like it, if they're going to be getting kind of like use out of the things that you make for them. So I was a bit nervous to give it to her, but she absolutely loved it, and she sent me pictures of her wearing it, and she's also said that she wears it literally like every single day. So that's really nice to know. My next completed piece is a little baby cardigan. If you don't know, I'm quite fond of making baby cardigans, and my stepbrother has just had, well, not him personally, but his other half has just had a little baby, and this is the cardigan that I have made for my new nephew. And I'm so happy with how this turned out. This is a pattern, the cardigan is a pattern by GINA MICHELE. I've used it time and again. This time I actually sized up a needle only by 0.5. Normally I use a 4mm, but this time I did a 4.5, and it's just made it really nice and drapey. And then I did a little like bear applique, and I think just the colours and everything goes so well together, so I'm so happy with how this is. I've kind of clung onto it a little bit before like sending it down to my stepbrother for his new son, who probably won't get any use out of it for a little while because he is a little preemie. They knew he was going to be premature because his sister is premature as well, my niece, so they were well aware that he was going to be tiny. So he'll hopefully get a little bit of use out of this, maybe towards the end of the year. So yeah, so it is age 0 to 3 months. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Any pattern or anything like that that I have used, I'll pop all the links down in the description. So if there's anything there that you like, then you can have a go. So next completed project is one that I actually completed this morning. I have decided that I'm going to do a book blanket this year. So I have just finished, I say just finished, a few days ago, just finished reading Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book in the Throne of Glass series. Very long story short, I've had this book on my shelf since it came out in 2018, and it's taken me several years to get to this point where I've actually read it. So yeah, I finally finished Throne of Glass this year, and I'm really happy about it. And I decided that I'm going to make a book blanket. So last year I didn't read that many books, so it could be a project that I carry over onto into next year, because there's no point just stopping it just because of, you know, I only read like say 12 books in a year, because it won't be a very big blanket. This is the granny square that I have created for the book. So I kind of picked up, so this is the old cover. I don't know what the new cover looks like, but I kind of was trying to pick like the orange and like the yellows and the gold, and got like the blue, white, grey of the armour. And I think it actually looks quite nice. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. So that's my first granny square completed for my new book blanket. And one thing that I haven't made very many of is blankets. I've made 2 blankets, I think, in my entire knit and crochet career, I suppose. Both of them were baby blankets for friends that I used to work with, and they were both the same pattern. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to kind of doing this whole project throughout the course of the year. I've already been thinking about different colours that I can use for this cover, because there's so many really pretty pastel colours. My plan also isn't to go and specifically buy yarn for like this project. I want to use up what's in my stash. Obviously throughout the year I'll probably purchase yarn anyway, but I'm not going to be buying anything specific for like this project. So moving on to next completed project, excuse me while I have a little sip of my coffee, is this. So I have just finished watching Wednesday. I watched the first series last year, not last year, when it first came out, and then I decided to rewatch the first series and then the second series as that came out. And I obviously couldn't watch Wednesday without making myself a Wednesday birthday snood. I tend to be kind of like drawn to more pinks, but I really wanted to make Wednesday's one like with the chunky black snood and like the little tassels. Originally I was going to put the tassels on, but I'm so glad I did. Like, I love the look of the tassels, and I'm actually going to be making Daisy a Wednesday scarf as well. She has requested, so originally I was going to make her Enid's one because, you know, she loves pink, but she was like, no mummy, I want Wednesday's one as well. So I should, you know, hopefully make her, she wants both of them, so she wants a Wednesday one and a Enid one. So that is kind of like plans kind of like going forwards that I will make her a snood. Whether she'll wear it, I don't know. She hates things being around her neck. So I did start it, but realised it was going to be too long. And she does want it to wrap around as well. So trying to get the length right is quite difficult. With this one, I did find a few patterns online. There was one free one that I'll link again. But it's really simple. I think essentially, I chained 140 and then basically just did double crochet all along or in the round to create the snood. I did actually run out of yarn before the end of my round, but to be completely honest, I think there you go. So there's like where I ran out, and so it was like between basically there and there that I ran out. So not a huge kind of amount of yarn I needed, and it's fine, like it's only for me. No one else would notice. Yeah, but I love the tassels actually, and it was my first time making tassels. As lame as that is, but I love them. They're like little, I think those little ghosties. But yeah, I really love that, and I've been wearing that a lot since I completed that. It was quite a quick project because the yarn was like a chunky yarn. I just got the yarn from Pound Stretcher, and I think it was $3 or $4.99 for a skein. How many did I buy? 2 or 3, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. But with Daisy's one, I'm just going to double strand some DK yarn, and then I did get some chunky pink yarn, which I do have in my stash of things to show you, because I'm going to be showing you like yarns and things that I've bought recently, because there was an Aldi special buy on yarn, and their yarn prices are so good. So I have got stuff to show from Aldi, and then I also placed a Temu order. If you do follow me on this channel, then you would have seen my latest video, which is a tutorial for this Gabby girl cardigan. So my daughter, she loves Gabby's dollhouse, and I really wanted to just make her a Gabby cardigan. So that is what I did, and it is essentially just like a little half double crochet cardigan. I used 2 strands of DK yarn in 2 different colours. So I've got a really bright vibrant pink and one that's still really bright but a little bit more muted. I just double stranded that. But if you're interested in seeing the whole process and watching me make this, then there is a video on my channel that you can watch for that. So I'm not going to sit and talk about that one too much. I'm going to move on to projects that I've got on my hooks and needles at the moment. Maybe I'll start with this one, because there is a video where I started this on my channel as well back in October, and I still have not finished it. So I started making a really simple stockinette jumper. So that's the back panel. That back panel's all done, and I'm still working very slowly on the front panel. This is a jumper that I'm just I suppose drafting. I am using a GINA MICHELE toddler jumper as a kind of like guide or inspiration, just because of the way I like the way it looks. It's very like relaxed, and because it's all stockinette, it all rolls up. So the idea is that on the front I'll shape around the neck a little bit, just around here, and then it will kind of roll up a little bit. Yeah. So I kind of keep this one in my work bag and just work on it like on my lunch break at work. We get about 45 minutes for lunch, so by the time I've eaten my sandwich, I've got about 20-25 minutes to sit and do a little bit of knitting while I'm watching something on my phone. So that is kind of what I just keep in my bag, and I think the reason why it's just taking me so long is that stockinette is just one of those really, it's just really long, isn't it? Like the knit rows obviously go really quickly, the purl rows sort of take a little bit of time, but I do genuinely love like the way stockinette looks, and I'm using, doesn't say what needle that is, it is, I'm using a 6mm needle with some Aran weight yarn. I've had this in my stash for a really long time, so I had hoped it would have been done and I would have been wearing it by now, but you know, here we are, several months later, and it is no closer to being finished. So yes, this will be a very slow project, I think, and by the time it's done it'll probably be summer, so there we go. But yes, that one, it will get finished at some point. The next project I've got going on again is another jumper, because you can never have too many jumpers. And this is, it's going to be a very, very oversized jumper. It's going to be massive. However, that's just how the pattern is supposed to be. It is the SKAPPLEGENSEREN. It is a Norwegian pattern, I do believe, by, I want to say Maria Skapple, or is that the daughter? I can't remember. I'll pop all the details on screen, and then a link to the blog post where this free pattern is. So my understanding is that quite a few years ago now, Skapple, she released a free pattern for this very basic knit jumper. It is basically just a one size kind of fits all. It's very oversized, and the idea is that it is 2x2 ribbing across the bottom. It is all in garter stitch, and then the back is slightly longer than the front, so you'll basically knit your back panel, then knit your front panel to a certain point, and then you shape the neck a little bit, seam it together, and then do your arms. And yeah, it's really, really simple. I have made this before. It was my first jumper that I made. I don't have it anymore. It's one that I think I just wore a lot, and then it just warped and became way too big, and it was not something I could salvage or save. So I just had the desire to remake it. And so I'm using this kind of like really fluffy, really soft yarn. It is completely man-made, this yarn. It's one that I got off of Temu, but it's really, really soft. It's really soft, really fuzzy, and it's just working out pretty quick. I have had to buy some more because I kind of just misjudged how much I would need for this. So I have bought another like packet of this yarn. I've got through one skein already, and we're not that like far up. Like I said, it's going to be a very, very big oversized jumper. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pattern, and this project and this yarn. So this next project that I'm working on, so how many have I got? I've got 3 going at the moment, which isn't too bad. I have kind of like given up with one of the projects that I was working on. Again, I've kind of run out of, I haven't run out of yarn yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of yarn, so I just don't see the point carrying on. So I'm just going to rip back what I've done and repurpose the yarn and use it for something different. So this next project, it is, you can't really see it very well. There we go. So this is the Hazelnut Henley sweater by Stitchberry, and it is, so it's a free pattern, and again it's going to be quite oversized. If you haven't guessed, I do like all of my jumpers and sweaters and cardigans to be a bit oversized, and it took me a little bit of time kind of actually getting this like patterning right, because basically what you're doing is you're half double crocheting into the 3rd and the 1st loop, and I did kind of like, I had a look on like TikTok to try and find out how to do that, and on YouTube, and everything was just telling me how to crochet into like the back loop, and I was like, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing, I know that. And then I kind of like had a little bit of a Google, and then it came up with a picture that showed me what the third loop, the first loop, the third loop, front loop and back loop were, and I was like, ah, there we go, finally figured that out. And in true Jenny fashion, I am not using the correct weight of yarn, I'm not using the correct hook size, and I haven't checked gauge because I never check gauge. Don't be like Jenny, check your gauge. But no, it will turn out fine. 90% of the stuff that I make and I don't check gauge, it all ends up just fine. That, or I just whip it back and have a silent cry and then just move on with my life. But no, this should be fine. Simple, I think, construction, apart from like the front where it's like you've got your Henley buttons. So from what I can gather, I'll probably just get to like a middle section and then just stop and then kind of work backwards and forwards and then do the same on the other side and then create a little button panel. So I think that should be okay, but it's quite a slow progress actually with this one. It's something I kind of don't have to concentrate on doing it, but because I'm kind of getting through the third loop and the first loop, I just have to look what I'm doing. So if I really don't want to like concentrate on anything, I just want to watch TV, I just pick up this one. If I'm not too fussed and I'm just happy like just listening mostly, then I can kind of like work on this one. And it's in this like nice like chocolate brown colour. Like I love kind of like how these two look like colour wise. Yeah, so cute. Next up is kind of like I suppose yarn acquisitions, things that I've bought recently. So like I said, Aldi had their special buy a few weeks ago, and I did buy some yarn. I kind of bought, what did I do? I kind of like bought a little bit of yarn, and then I kind of, when they still had like yarn left in their bins, I kind of picked up some more yarn. So this brown yarn is actually from Aldi. It is their Aran weight. It is a combination of acrylic and wool. So thankfully they had like loads of this brown yarn left. Obviously brown's not a very popular colour. So I got all of that from like days after, week after, 2 weeks after their event. Because usually it just completely like sells out. Everyone goes to Aldi, it's cheap. They do it twice a year, their special buy events for yarn. And so yeah, that's what I've got specifically for that. And then I picked up some other colours. So this is that pink yarn that I was talking about, doing like the Enid snood with for Daisy's little snood. I was going to pair that with a pink yarn, like, and maybe do like a white as well, like every other row, and this kind of like as the base. So I've got, I might have got 3 balls of this, I can't remember, but I know I've definitely got enough to make her a little snood out of this. And then the first lot of yarn that I bought it was for a specific project. So Daisy is really into the Moomins at the moment, which is really cute because I loved the Moomins growing up, and it's just one of those things that's really cute and nostalgic. So I have a plan to create her a tapestry jumper of the Moomins. I've been like looking all through Pinterest, and I found like an alpha that I like. So my plan for that is it's going to be this colour. This is teal, and again this is from the Aldi special buy, and I bought 3 balls of this, so I should have enough. And I was thinking that I might team that with a purple yarn, like with like some stripes, because I've seen like a Moomin jumper that was like sort of like this colour and stripes, then with like a little Moomin on front. So obviously to do Moomin, I got a white as well, and some black. I feel like you can never just have enough like black around. So yeah, this is what I got from the Aldi like special buy. So not a huge amount of like variation. They did have some really nice like roving yarn, but I didn't get that because I couldn't think of like what I'd want to make out of it. to then make sure I had enough, because obviously with the Aldi special buy, once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, you can try your luck at finding stuff off eBay. I have been lucky in the past, like with this cardigan, for example. This was an Aldi special buy, one of their jumbo balls, and then I didn't have enough and I needed another ball, and I managed to find one on eBay. So it's possible, but they also hike the prices up on eBay as well. So yeah, that's everything that I got from the Aldi special buy. So nothing too exciting this time around. Final set of like stuff that I bought. So this is kind of like 2 orders through Temu. So first of all, just because it's right on the very top, I'm really bad at, like, I just tend to bin all of my like yarn scraps, which I know is really bad and really wasteful. So I thought, when I've got enough, I'm going to have a go at making my own yarn. So that will be a video that will come up at some point when I have enough yarn. We can try doing that together. But I basically bought some little pet brushes. So these are, they're just called slicker brushes, and I got them for really cheap off of Temu. I didn't want to pay like an astronomical price by going to Pets at Home. So these were like a couple of pounds each, I think. I got 2 of those that you can kind of like, yeah, I think you kind of like put your yarn on there and basically just strafe it across. But again, I don't know what I'm doing. We will be learning that together at some point. So I got 2 of those. And then I also got like a yarn spinner. I saw a video where you could make one, but I thought for the effort it would take me to make one, because I'd still have to, I'd have to go out and buy like the little hook bit, and in the end it would just work out simpler and probably cheaper and cost me less of a headache to just buy one off of Temu. It feels quite well made, to be completely honest, and it's just to have a go at like hand spinning my own yarn. It's something I'm quite excited to get around to doing, but like I said, I just need to kind of build up a good sort of like stash of scrap yarn. So I'm kind of like just bagging it up when I've got a little scraps, so I'm kind of keeping all my pinks together, greens, blues, blacks and white stuff like that, so that I can kind of fluff them up, because I think the idea is that you fluff them up and then like use this and spin them. But I've watched a couple of videos. It seems simple, but for someone who's not very dexterous, it could be a bit of a challenge, but it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. So this is the yarn. We've already seen this one. This is the yarn that I'm using for my SKAPPLEGENSEREN, but this is basically the yarn. It's really cute, really fuzzy, and it's a really good price. I have bought myself another load of this, which should be coming in a couple of weeks. And then when I bought this, it is a packet of 6, and they're 75 grams each. Yeah, like I said, I think it's completely, it's like polyester or something like that, acrylic, but it doesn't matter. It's really soft. It's nice. You can't be too choosy if you are a beggar. I've got 2 balls of this like pink. It looks really neon on here, but it's this bright pink t-shirt yarn. I really want to have a go at making a bag. So I bought 2 of these. I'm not gonna, a lot of tutorials and patterns show it being doubled up, but there is one that I found that is just like a single layer of this t-shirt yarn. So that's what I'm gonna do. I might make a little video about it as well. So that'll be something coming in the future, like just kind of like make a bag with me kind of thing. So I've got 2 balls of this to kind of make a little fun summer bag with, so I'm quite excited to do that. And then I bought a pattern by Happy Love Co. She is someone that I have followed on Instagram for the longest time, and I've got 2 of her patterns now. I haven't made either yet, but I bought a load of yarn hoping that it would kind of work for the cardigan pattern that I bought. It is the Winter Blues cardigan, I do believe. which is this nice chunky oversized cardi. And to do that I needed to get some much larger knitting needles. So I've got a 50mm and a 20mm, I believe, knitting needle. Then I've got this kind of like minty turquoisey kind of colour. It's almost like a roving yarn, quite chunky, that I was going to pair with this. So this is, I think it is, this is Vastly of Alpacas. Oh, that's no good. So the label is all in Chinese, but I'm pretty sure when I had a look at it, it is part mohair and part kind of like acrylic yarn. But I was thinking I'd kind of like team these two up together to make that pattern. And then I have misplaced one of the hooks that I got from this set. This was like your chunky like acrylic hooks. This is a 50mm, this one's a 10, I think the other one's a 12, and you know, they're alright. Very squeaky, very squeaky. I used, I think it was 12mm for my Wednesday snood. I'd sit there of an evening just crocheting with my headphones on and squeaking away, and I'd always get looks from my husband who's sitting next to me while my hooks are squeaking. So yeah, they're okay in a pinch, but on the whole very squeaky. So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I have got to share. So kind of like upcoming projects that I want to be kind of like working on with you is going to be that Moomin jumper. We're going to go and like head over to like Stitch Fiddle and like work out like our graph and start the project together. I like the idea of kind of making it like over like a few videos with you, like incorporating like other things with it. And I want to have a go at making a little kind of like Moomin amigurumi, so that'll be on the cards as well. And then I also really want to make I think this really cute pattern for like a cup of coffee amigurumi, like a Jellycat one. So there's like loads of like Jellycat amigurumi patterns out there, and like I just love the idea of having like a little coffee cup to go and sit next to my coffee machine. We've got a coffee machine for Christmas, which we have used absolutely loads, and I just think it'd be really cute to have like a little coffee cup sitting next to my coffee machine. So yeah, that's it really. Thank you all so much for coming to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a little thumbs up. It really helps to kind of like support my channel. And if you want to kind of like hang out more and see like what we've got going on over the rest of the year, just hit subscribe. Yeah, cool. Thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.